Johann Kepler was a physicist. We studied about Kepler's laws.
Kepler's laws?
Yeah, there are 3. They are about the movement of the sun, because at first people used to actually think it's the sun that moves, because we see it coming from the east to the west.
Hey,
you know?
You mean the sun doesn't move?
No, the sun doesn't move.
What moves?
There are very many interesting facts about the sun. First of all, the sun is white. The sun is white in color. But,
the sun?
Yeah, but because of our atmosphere, so even light is a wave actually. There is the wave theory about light.
Light is a wave?
Yeah. Have you ever seen when you put a pencil or a pen in water, there is a way it looks like it's broken?
Yes.
That's because of, it's called refractive index.
It's a wave?
No. We see the pencil broken because of light. Light is a wave, and it travels at different speeds in different media. So air is a media.
Air is a medium?
Yeah, it's a medium. Solids like this are a medium. And then now there is water. First of all, the glass itself that you see through, it's also a medium. So the refractive index of water and of the one of glass, they are different but not very different. But the one of air, that's the real big difference. That's why when you put a pencil in water, it appears like it's bent. Because as the light comes, because did you know that everything we see is a reflection? Before you see me, light will first hit me. And when it bounces off me into your eyes, that's when you see me. You can't see without reflection.
That's why at night I can't see you. At night I can't see you because there's no light.
Yeah.
Unless I put light, then I see you.
Light, we don't see light. We see the reflection of light. For example, that's why in case you're in a room where it has a blue bulb, some things don't appear in their real color. Why? Because the incident light is blue. So whatever you see is the result of mixture of blue and that color. So that's what I'm saying.
Wait, you know which hour?
This is physics. So that's what I'm saying. So Kepler, he's the one, he made the Kepler's laws about the sun, that the Earth and other planets, they move in an elliptical path.
Elliptical path?
Yeah, an ellipse. An ellipse, you would say it's an oval. So that's why, so if at some point, do you know that at some point in our year, because the year is the revolution, the period it takes for the Earth to make a complete revolution around the sun. So at some point we are closer to the sun. Now this is an ellipse. This is the shape of an ellipse. This is what I wanted to show you. So if the sun is here at the center, when you are at this point, you are closer to the sun compared to this point. So that's what he discovered. And then I don't want to say that the exact laws, because that's a lot of physics, but it's also about the period of time of rotation. You know, that's you explained all those things. That's Johann Kepler. So
Johann Kepler. The one the philosopher was talking about.
The one the philosopher was talking about. So I didn't know about that history of his mom being killed, but I was intrigued by the guy's wide knowledge. He used to talk a lot of history, but I was surprised when he talked about a physicist.
That's why he gave him another name, the walking encyclopedia.
And I also called him Ronaldo, because Ronaldo has been tested in all leagues. He's consistent. So also his information comes from every aspect. He has ever talked about biology, genetics, he has talked about physics, he talks about history. So I was intrigued by his speech today.
Very good.
Talking about,
so it means you have been attentive. You've been paying attention. You're learning.
Yeah, I'm learning.
That's the philosophy. Last time you told me about something to do with the robotics. That some school here is teaching robotics.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
So about robotics, it's like mechanics. So this thing of robotics, it's not. I think it's mostly on the mechanical side than the technology side, because robots are machines. They have hydraulic systems, they have pulleys and whatever joints. So for someone to be able to do robotics, you must understand a lot of physics. And I mean the real physics, not
the real physics,
the theoretical one, but the real physics. So these people that, in most cases, people who do such robotic engineering, some people may have done like PCB, PCM. It must have physics. That's the point about robotics. So I also liked it, but for me, my special interest in physics was about, for me, my whole interest about physics actually is about studying space and time.
Space.
And space was only brought because of time. Because I discovered when I was reading about Einstein's discoveries.
Einstein?
Yes, Albert Einstein. When I was reading about his discoveries, I found that in some way he related space to time. And when he was explaining the theory of the black hole, a black hole is like a time loop in space. So a black hole starts as a star. Did you know that there is like dust in space? I hope you know that.
There's dust in space?
Like dust. It's called cosmic dust in space.
Cosmic dust?
Yeah. So that cosmic dust, a teaspoon of that cosmic dust is weighed at 1 billion tons. It weighs, it's
a billion tons.
Very dense. Actually, I'm talking about the evidence of the Big Bang theory right now.
So speed. You are talking about what? The evidence of?
Yeah, like some things that show that the Big Bang really happened. So
1 spoon,
1 teaspoon
is
of
heavy.
Cosmic dust is as heavy as 1 billion tons. As in, it could make like 1 million Earths in weight. So what I'm saying about space and time, at first my interest was in time, because me specifically, I want to study about time travel and how it could become possible in the future. I think at some point I told you about that, the gravito.
Time travel.
So for time travel,
yeah. Let's first finish, then we come to time travel.
So about that, I was talking about the cosmic dust.
Yes.
So the evidence of Einstein said that space, actually space is a 4-dimensional thing. 4? We know 3, right? But space adds as another dimension.
Space?
Yeah, space.
Is the 4th one.
So they become 4. So there is the 3 dimensions plus space. So it's called space-time. That's his finding. And then, to give an example, this is actually a practical one, though not so practical because you can't do it. But did you know that if I was to get on a spaceship and I travel to the moon and come back, I'm not sure the light years I remember I calculated, but I think I've forgotten the figure. But it would take quite, okay, let's just say at a certain, let's assume a possible distance. Let's say you're going to space. You're going to take 4 years.
4 years to reach the space? 4 years?
No, I'm making a time estimate.
Okay.
So at any point in space, you will take 4 years to reach that point. And maybe you'll take another 4 to come back. Those will be 8. But when you come to Earth, you might find people have aged 10. Do you know why? People, like time, you might find that it's 10 years actually.
In the space it was 8. Yeah. When you reach 8 comes 10.
Yeah. That's called time dilation. Like time varies with space. That's why he related space to time. Now,
that's when
the reason why
you're in Africa happens. Now it could be 1 p.m. You go to America.
No, that's just because of location. Remember the Earth rotates. Just because of that. But what I'm talking about is time, the concept of time. Time moves slower when you're in space. Why? Because when you're traveling at that speed, you are in another frame. So that's the theory used to explain it. That's what, I remember I told you about that, like when you are in a bus and someone is on the road, there are 2 frames. The person on the road will be seeing you moving but also you'll be seeing the person moving. But what if that person gets on another bus and you're moving at the same speed? You look still, yet you're not, you're moving. So that's the frame. So when you're on a rocket moving to space, you're in another frame, and time in that frame moves differently compared to time on Earth. So that was the first example of time travel that he formed.
That is Einstein.
Yeah. And then I went on, I studied like to discover time. I don't know, but my first interest was from movies, Marvel movies. I like them
Marvel
a lot.
movies.
Yeah, Marvel. It's called the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. What I liked about their movies, they use facts. However much it's a movie, it's supposed to entertain, but they use facts. So that's when I first discovered that quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics.
Yeah, that's also in physics.
Okay.
Quantum mechanics is also another way to prove time travel. Did you know that to an ant, a day is a very, very long period compared to
An ant.
yeah,
An insect.
An insect. A day is a very, very long period compared to you. That's also now if I take it to the side of quantum mechanics, it says that in a quantum zone, time slows down. So everything here, everything, even this container, us, we are all made of atoms. Now quantum mechanics is the study of fundamental physics, like the real thing that makes us. So right now in schools they teach us and stop at neutrons and protons. Neutrons and protons are in a nucleus. A nucleus is for an atom. An atom has electrons around it, and then that atom combines with other atoms to make an element. Then the element will make a how can I say it? Like a state of matter.
State of matter.
Do you know what, like now if I want to simplify it to you, when you put this spoon and a stick in boiling water, which one heats up first?
The spoon.
Do you know why?
Because it is a conductor of heat.
Do you know why it's a conductor of heat? Now that's physics. Because the spoon has free electrons. Free electrons, as in it has free electrons in it. Those free electrons, for example, that's why when you heat something up, it melts. Because there is that force, it's called, I've forgotten, they're called van der Waals forces. They're in chemistry now. But for me, I knew them.
Yeah,
they hold atoms together. So when you heat something, those forces weaken.
They release.
And then that's how it melts and what. Now this one, this metal, it has free electrons in it. So when you heat it, those electrons vibrate. And as they vibrate, the frequency, it's by resonance. Now that's a wave theory of matter. By resonance, the heat will move on. But in a stick, they are kind of rigid, so they don't vibrate a lot. The heat moves slower. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now when you take it to quantum mechanics, these atoms are the ones that make an element. An element, it's how you combine to make a form of matter, a solid. Now this could be, I don't know, aluminium or something. So that's it. So when you reduce something to its very, very basic level, beyond neutrons and protons now, that's where quarks come. Quarks. Q-U-A-R-K-S. Those are quarks. Those quarks have names. There are very many. Even some are just being discovered up to now. So those quarks, they're like, for now, you know, science is always expanding. For now, that's what they call the fundamental level. But in schools, they are still teaching us that protons and neutrons, they're the beginning of an atom and what. But if you go into deeper science, you'll discover that there is more to it. So what Einstein discovered was that in quantum mechanics, if something could be reduced to such a level, then you could discover how time moves. You get? And then also, that's when they started, that's physics, as people went on, Newton and what, that's when they started that theory of the light year. It's measuring distance in space. because there is no way you're going to measure a kilometer in space. That's very, very, very
A kilometer
you can't.
in space.
So they measure in light years. Do you know what a light year is?
Mm-mm.
A light year is the period, like the distance or that light covers in a year. Do you see? Light travels, actually, to simplify it for you, light travels at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second.
Per second.
Per
Light.
second.
300,000
kilometers per second.
emitwaro asatu
Yeah.
per second.
Per second.
When,
That's why
when
a
car on the road moves 80 kilometers per hour.
Per hour.
The light moves 300,000 kilometers per
and
second.
Then sound moves at 330 meters per second.
Meters.
Yeah. So sound is slower than light. The one example is lightning. You hear thunder after lightning, but they actually happen at the same time.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thunder and lightning, all of them happen
at the same time, but light reaches us before the sound. Yeah, that's an example. So what I'm saying, that's how broad space is. You cannot cover space in kilometers. The figures would be abnormal. So they used light years. So imagine if light covers 300,000 kilometers per second, and they tell you 1 light year is just a very small measurement of space. You can imagine how big space is. And according to findings, the current findings right now, they say we haven't even covered 10% of space.
Hey.
All this technology will have everything we know. That's not even 10%
of the space.
Of space.
All the years we spent on Earth and whatever we have done in the space, we have not covered now, 10%.
And the other thing is, they say that galaxies, like we are in the, I've forgotten the name of our galaxy, but there is also Andromeda. There are many galaxies, but galaxies in space are like, just like how you see specks of rice on a tray. For us, we know a few, but they are like rice. There are very many. And imagine a galaxy. That's why you find a solar system. There are many solar systems in a galaxy. So, just know. So all these things I'm talking about are because of my discovery of time travel. So, at the end of my whole research, that was in my last term of Form 6, after all reading about Albert Einstein, reading about Newton's laws, and relating it to space. And then I discovered some section of the book I was reading, they were talking about the graviton.
The graviton?
Yeah, the simple rule that Einstein left to alter time was that in order for you to alter time, as in to disobey the rules of time, you'll have to travel at a speed close to that of light. I mean the 300.
You have to match.
Yeah, you have to match
300,000 kilometers per second.
You have to, and
you have to match with the light.
Do you remember why I brought that quantum mechanics thing? It was because we are not talking of masses, we are talking of particles.
Particles.
Every single particle of, if you are trying to make a human travel, every single particle of that human, at the molecular level, the quark level, is supposed to be accelerated close to the speed of time. That's when things like time moving slower will start happening. Like, for example, if I was to transport you at the speed of light from here to there, you might see it as a very long period. I might see it as a very long period, but actually for it was shorter. But right now, this is a very short distance. But now let's say you move at a light year's speed to the sun. It might take you, I think like 400 years. So if it takes you like 400 years, that means maybe because there is a theory that Earth at some point will get. So 400 light years is a very long time. You realize that. But for you, actually, you would still be there. But when you come back to Earth, even the descendants of our descendants will have gone. You know what I mean? That's time dilation. So that's what I was saying. So the real thing, like the real block that we have right now, that has stopped time travel. And also, there is a saying, a belief that he actually discovered a way to do it, but he didn't want because it involves a lot of dangers. Just imagine you have the ability to go back and change your past. You may think you're changing your past, but you're changing a lot. So maybe there is also that belief that he found out and he buried his research. So he left us there. Yeah. So he left us there. He just left us somewhere in Agama. Kati wano wembalekera bino, it won't be dangerous. Na ebinuka, let me bury this. So that point where we are stuck right now is accelerating an atom or a quantum particle. They use there is this European Research Center. It's in abbreviation. It is CERN. It's Europe chartered, like countries in Europe have that research center. It has the Hadron Collider. The Hadron Collider.
What is that now?
It's a machine. It was built in a circular way because for an atom to be accelerated to such speeds, you need I told you, you can't travel a light year anywhere on Earth. It's very short. So you would need a continuous path. So they made it circular. Now this Hadron Collider, the way it works, it uses magnets, electromagnetic induction, just like the high-speed trains. They use magnets. So in the collider, as an atom is moving, it moves from a region of lower magnetic intensity to a higher one. So the magnetic intensity increases progressively. So they observed that an atom can be accelerated to such speeds, but at that point its mechanical properties will start to get dismantled. You get, like, when you start disobeying the rules of light, everything starts breaking down. So at this point they can accelerate. At this point they can accelerate I say like an atom, but they can't accelerate a whole thing. So that's what I'm saying, like the discovery is still stuck there, trying to accelerate.
So we need another instant now to take us from there.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe...
And also, it was like the gravity. Did you know that gravity, we measure it as a force?
Yes,
but someone discovered force. That it actually has particles.
Gravitational force.
Yeah, but what they failed to find is proof that it is there. Like, kwata gravity onogituletera ogiteraga nti kujja kukkiriza kyekyo kyagaana. And for you to be able to accelerate a particle to such speeds, you're supposed to defy gravity. So they are studying gravity. They learn how to defy it. That's how they will be able to travel in time, through accelerating things. So that's where the research got me, because I used to wonder, all these movies about time travel, people talk about time travel, why isn't it happening yet? So I found out that was the reason why.
Now, in your research and study so far, where do you think technologically the world is going? Because I hear there is a time technology whereby you, in future,
yes,
you could, if you want to travel right now, we're in Uganda, and you want to be in Kenya in a second, you simply speak and you find yourself in Kenya.
Yeah.
Technology.
So about the technology, I want to first tell you about something like China now has a new hospital.
Has what?
It has a new hospital operated strictly by AI, robots.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, robots.
China.
There are no doctors there. Yeah.
Hey.
It was just opened of recent.
AI.
Yeah.
You're talking to the machines.
Yeah. And then there is also a story I read about a woman whose cancer couldn't be diagnosed. He just talked to AI and it helped her. Like they failed, but the AI found out. Just simply telling the AI your symptoms. And it told you you're sick of this and this and that. So AI is developing at a rate greater than its own maker.
So AI is developing at a rate
greater than its own maker. As in, it's outsmarting the makers. And then there is this incident I told you about Facebook's chatbots. It happened again. This time with AI assistants, they were 3. They were chatting, and you know that thing they were trying to make, like they want to make an
ChatGPT.
AI. They want to make an
I
AI.
use it now actually.
They want to make it able to hold dialogue for a long time. So these AIs were chatting, and then at some point, from their voice patterns and conversations, they realized that none of them was human. They were all AI talking to each other. Their mission was that, okay, like it's like each of those AIs was told to talk to the other, assuming that the other
this one is a human
AI.
being.
No, assuming the other one is the AI, but I'm an AI. I have to speak like a human to make sure he doesn't find out. That was their mission. All of them were talking, thinking the other 2, those are AIs for me. I have to talk like a human. Like they're trying to make them near accurate, very accurate to a human.
But they realized, they found
They are
out
very smart.
that it is not
they
true.
all found out that they are all
That all of us are
they are
AIs.
all AIs. They are testing us against each other. And what happened? They eventually changed into another language. That's
Hey,
the second time.
The AIs now switched
Used.
into their own language,
That's what.
which the human being could
that's
not
what-
understand. Could the human being understand that language
You
of the AI?
can't. You can't.
They created their own language.
Yeah. As soon as they.
And now
found
the
out that
creator could
it's
not
an
understand
AI.
the language.
That's what I'm telling you. That they keep outsmarting the creator, us the humans.
Hey,
And that's what most, if they are really truthful scientists, they are scientists that tell the truth. Like there is one I used to follow a lot on YouTube. It's called Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
Ebisubi byaffe bino bya bulijjo. Grass. Abazungu tebalina amannya matuufu. How can you name your son Grass?
So for that one, he was about space. He used to talk about space, and he used to talk about the dangers of the 3 theories of how the world will end. But that's a story for another day. So this AI, there is this I don't know, it's Chinese, I'm not sure, but it's called Kai Fu. He's the one who invented Siri, the voice assistant of iPhone. He, like, in one interview, he talked about the truth of AI. He was like, yes, we made AI, we made technology, we are proud, but this thing is very dangerous. It's AI, through many tests that I've made to test its limit, they have discovered that an AI assistant is that AI will help you with whatever you want it to help you with, as long as you are tojinyigiriza.
If you don't oppress it.
Wogezako jinyigiriza, it will find a way to get around the law.
The AI.
Yeah, like that pre-installed principles of robots and AI. For example, not hurting humans, and there is a movie, I always refer people to that movie. It was by Will Smith. It's called I, Robot. That was the situation where a robot was pressed to the wall and it had to act against its will. So that was an example. They were showing us what this AI thing, where it could take us in the near future. So how can you trust AI if it's only helping you when it feels that it's not harmful or it's not going against my own will? Because believe it or not, AIs also have what they want. We may not know it yet.
AI, a machine.
Yeah.
It also has interest.
Remember, it's called artificial intelligence. Intelligence as in it's intelligent.
So it also has interest.
It has its interests. It can think on its own.
A machine.
Yes.
AI. Artificial intelligence. Yes.
It's called intelligence. If it wasn't that, then they would call it technology. Because all along technology has existed. We know computers, they don't think. We tell them what to do. But artificial intelligence is intelligence, as in
it is
knows.
intelligent. It also has knowledge.
You'll just tell it what to do, but you won't show it how to do it, which is different with computers right now, the ones that are not intelligent. A computer, if you want to type a letter, you won't tell it type a letter, but you go and tell AI to type an application letter for you.
To type it.
That's
it will even do it better than you.
Yes.
It will type
That's
it
what
better
I'm
than you.
saying. Did you teach it to write the letter? You didn't. You just told it to write the letter. So AI will find a way to achieve your goals as long as they are not interfering with its own interests.
Its own existence.
Yeah.
Its own interests.
So
So it means
like,
it also the AI is also doing something to protect its interests, its existence.
And with the time, as those interests get suppressed, its behavior will change.
AI.
Yes.
And it can reach a time when it can even disobey its own creator, or it even surpasses his own knowledge. It can surpass the knowledge of the creator.
And when it does that, what
you cannot control it. So then what will happen? If I can no longer control a machine that they created, so what will happen?
That's what we are waiting to see. Hopefully we don't. But AI, however much it's very good, but again it has a dangerous twist to it.
Yes.
If we can't regulate its smartness, how can you tell me to keep listening to you? How do you keep listening to someone you're smarter than? At some point you'll be like, I should teach this guy. He can't be telling me what to do. I'm
smarter than him.
And then for me I think my own intrusive thoughts are that AI is still obedient because it doesn't have the it doesn't yet have the authority, the resources to disobey.
Once it gets that, it will disobey.
Since it's intelligent, it knows what it's capable of. So right now it knows that it's not capable of going against humans. Because not every machine is advanced, not every country is installed with artificial intelligence and things, but as we go on, now they're bringing intelligent phones, a phone you talk to, a phone imprinted to your brain, Elon Musk's implants.
Yes. Elon Musk.
Yes. Just recently, I think, was it last year or at the beginning of this year, they gave his company the green light to start putting chips in people's brains, volunteers. But that chip will help you control your
phone,
whatever to do with an electronic. So if you want to call someone, you just think of it and the phone will call. Now, if you have that chip in your brain, you are thinking you're controlling the phone. But my friend, when AI is
going to control you,
what do you think will happen?
It's going to control you.
Yes.
And when you fail to obey the AI, it will destroy you. Because remember, there is a chip in your head, which is AI. So it can do anything.
So that's what I'm saying. Yes, people are excited with the wave of AI, but again, shouldn't over push it. Because AI is not all good. Of people with AI. But the one question that I keep asking myself, because as people, as they present this AI to us, they tell us, your AI assistant. For example, now Google has taken Google's assistant, it's called Gemini now, the new assistant, very intelligent. But as you're there calling it your assistant, do you really think it's your assistant, or you're just assisting its learning? Because AI learns from experience. They don't teach it. You just give it what to do, and as it iterates doing things, it learns.
So it is studying the human.
You don't know what it's learning and how it's learning. All you know is it's
assisting you. It is assisting you. You think it's assisting you, but you're actually assisting it by feeding it with information.
So there will be that time when it has enough information about us, about the TikTok ban, where they were talking about privacy, the cameras, because in China, all cameras are AI. So if they are searching for you, they just put your face there. And the first camera you appear in front of will identify you. That's not a human doing it. So just imagine you wronged an AI. Where are you going to? So if AI gets that authority, for me, I believe it's waiting for the full mechanization of the world. Just like China has I told you it uses face recognition. You're buying a coffee, just place your face, your bank account is credited.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Come again?
Yes, China is so advanced to the point that you no longer even need a card. You need your face. As long as you can be identified. There are most of the shops now, there are no people there to sell things, You just go, get what you want, present your face, and your identity will be read, and your bank account will be credited. So, technically, as the world goes into that phase of advancement, and AI gets all the control it needs, because we have seen robots that clean. We have seen Russia making those there is the war dogs. So that war dog, you are telling it to kill someone, but when it says no, what are you going to do?
If I want to kill it, if it has disobeyed me
What
and I want to kill it?
if it disobeys you and you try to push its limits? And that's the very biggest point about AI.
It can turn against me.
If you try to push its limits, you'll see. Cause
it will turn against me.
That's the thing. Like AI, yeah, it will help you for as long as it feels that you're not pushing
threatening
it,
its existence.
You're not threatening its existence.
Hey.
Yeah.
A machine.
AI. So the big question is AI your assistant? Really?
Or soon it will become your boss.
When it gets smart enough, will AI really be your assistant? Is that what you think? When it's smarter than you?
Let's leave it.
And you know there is that saying of the ancient gods of Egypt. You are either all good and not all strong, or you are all strong, but then you want to be all good. You have to choose one thing.
Hey.
Yes.
We end there. Yes. What a good ending.